Sienna sat in her parents' mahogany-furnished study. The scent of old books and cigars thick in the air. Her father, Edgar Lockwood, cleared his throat. Her mother, Celeste, perched beside him. "We thought it best to tell you in person," Edgar said, sliding a crisp document across the table. "The estate, the stocks, the summer house in Cape Cod, it all goes to your brothers." Sienna's fingers tightened around the arms of her chair. "Why? You've never been the family type." Her mother adjusted her pearl necklace. "You left for law school when we wanted you to run the vineyard. You don't have a husband, no children, no legacy to uphold." Sienna's throat burned, but she forced a smile. "So this is my punishment for wanting a life of my own?" "Not punishment, dear. Just practicality," her father said. Sienna drove home, gripping the wheels tightly. She had given them everything: loyalty, success, even the forgiveness they never deserved. And for what? To be discarded like a bad investment? No, this wouldn't stand. Her brothers, Daniel and Gregory, had never worked a day in their lives. The vineyard, the estate, the stocks, they weren't just inheritance. They were power. And if they thought they could strip her of everything, they had no idea who they were dealing with. Over the next few months, Sienna set her plan in motion. First, she befriended her parents' financial advisor. It took only a few carefully planted doubts, whispers of mismanagement, of Daniel's gambling and Gregory's failed businesses, for the old man to start adjusting investments. Next, she turned her attention to the vineyard's workers, most of whom had always resented her father's iron rule. A few quiet meetings, a well-placed bribe, and they were ready to walk out at the worst possible moment right before the annual investors' tour. But the final blow came when she reconciled with Daniel. Over drinks, she expressed regret, promised to stay close, and most importantly, convinced him to sign off on a risky, high-stakes merger. One that left him, and by extension, the entire Lockwood estate exposed. By the time Edgar and Celeste realized what was happening, it was too late. The vineyard was bleeding money. The stocks had plummeted. Gregory had fled to Europe, drowning in debt. And Daniel? The merger had backfired, leaving him bankrupt and facing legal action. Sienna waited until her parents' home was up for sale before she visited. Edgar sat in the dimly lit parlor, staring at the foreclosure notice. Celeste clutched a silk handkerchief, eyes rimmed with tears. "Enjoying the view?" Edgar's voice was hoarse. Sienna stepped forward, placing a single key on the table. "I bought the estate this morning." Celeste looked up, horror dawning. "You wouldn't." "I did." Sienna met her father's gaze. "You were right. I'm not the family type. But I'm practical." She turned and walked away, leaving them in the ruins they had built for themselves.